Oh, mic's been on. I haven't been talking, so it should be fine. Oh, I hope folks well this morning. I look tired. Probably because I'm tired. uh, I didn't notice how tired I was until I just looked myself there. Yeah, I'm pretty tired. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that down a smidge. I hope folks are well. Cody with IronVerse Comics. We're doing another Coffee Cody and Comics. Could be a real short one today. I don't know. It's going to be a couple life updates and a new page from Jack. And that's honestly all I have planned. So, and of course, I'm going to finish a cup of coffee. That's the other. Well, it's fucking hot. I overheated it, thinking it was going to take a while to set up. Now I'm here, and I want my coffee. It is very hot. Woo! Alright. It's not scald. It's pretty hot. Alright. What do I want to do? I want to check everything's go. Which it looks like everything's go. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, not everything's go. See? That's why I have my little stream deck thingy-mabobber up here. I'm going to turn some schnit on there. Alright. I don't like this track more than I probably should. It's kind of got dissonance to it, right? Got a creep vibe to it. It still tries to be rocking. I don't know. I like this track. It's probably from Guilty Gear. Oh, okay, let me check things. Yeah, see, I don't know. Nope, there we are. Okay, good. Good. Only reason I didn't know. Restream has... I'm good. There you go. Something bit chiller. Restream has redone its terms of service or whatever its usage, right? So best way is just to show you. They're trying to sell me on that. This is fine. I don't mind two channels. I'm no longer hitting Twitter, but that's fine. To be honest, I don't know how many views I ever even got on there. It's just nice that it was present because people could know I'm streaming, and then if they're interested, they can listen to it a little bit on Twitter, then they come on and join the conversation if they want on a different platform. But that's not a thing. But as long as the free plan still exists and I can stream to more than one channel, I'm happy to use Restream. It tries to sell you on this branding shit, and if you're using OBS, that does not exist. It's kind of tricky, and I don't like that so much. But that's if you're using OBS or any other kind of streaming software, and not not straight through Restream. I think straight through Restream you will have that brand. And that's how you fill time. That's all I was doing. It doesn't really matter. Just waiting for caffeine. I'm way more tired than I thought I was. I woke up feeling alright. I've been sleeping better the last couple nights, theoretically. But, yeah. I don't really want to die because it's only the one page, and then the updates there's only two of them. Only two of them. And then from there, I don't know. Yeah. So I'm just going to hold and hang for a bit. If you do show up, please say howdy. I like knowing people are here. I see numbers, but they tend to mean nothing, if I'm being honest. Just complete nonsense. Oh, there's a howdy. I had desktop audio off though, so Robo Lady didn't give you a voice, and that's too bad. Good morning, brother. Hope you're doing well. I need more coffee. Yeah. Um, it's going well. It's going well. Let's see. Come on, caffeine. I should have had something else planned to just vape for time. I'm gonna have to learn how to do.
New Age Ninja Core said, "Doing all right." New Age Ninja Core said, "How you doing?"
Doing all right. Doing all right. The kitten has made a direct change in my mental state, which has been pretty neat. So that's been a thing. Since Jack 4 is moving forward, that's been helpful as well. Getting the house shit moving has been doing good. So, you know, I'm doing pretty good, all things considered. Still technically jobless, which is fun. But I've been able to pick up side gigs, and luckily my expenses aren't crazy. I live relatively humble. But still on the job hunt for something more like, you know, week by week paycheck instead of gig economy, which if I get enough movement with the pet sitting stuff, it could be great. But at the moment, it's enough to be like, well, I got a little bit of extra in case trouble hits, which is nice. Particularly the first gig I got, really, I was able to save, which was excellent. And then, of course, wonderful folks helping with the GoFundMe, and then also just through PayPal, there's a couple very cool cats who have allowed me to take care of the house stuff. Hi, Nami. You want to come say hi? Come here. Come here, you. Cat. Let me see. I can't see webcam. Cat. This thing. Yeah. My cat. There's a good chance she'll knock something over, this girl, but you know, it's a kitten. That's one of the updates. I guess I'll get into it. Kitten. So when was this? Wednesday.
New Age Ninja Core said, "Real."
Real indeed. Wednesday, I want to say, I had a pet sitting gig scheduled. And so I drove on out there. I had met them on Saturday, met the dogs. Littler dogs. One of them I wasn't able to bridge that gap, but the other two, at least I was able to. But Wednesday I was supposed to go down there as the first time, just make sure that they're fed and go outside and all that. They don't crap in the house, right? Basic stuff. It's just an hour gig, right? But I showed up, and so the owners were going through a separation. I don't care. Like at that bit, you know, the parents on that bit, and so the husband, or soon to be ex, I don't. Again, not really that important to the story, but he ended up watching the pets that day. So I get there, nobody told me he was going to be there. Like, they didn't cancel the gig, which bothered me. Sure, particularly in the moment. But he was a nice guy, which helped. But I kept hearing this during their conversation about, like, okay, I'm not needed, but I'll come back tomorrow, yada yada. I hear this meow, meow, right, again and again and again. I'm like, where the hell is that? Because we're in the middle of the mesa, so it's like cats don't tend to hide out in sagebrush. They find usually more structured stuff. I was like, I don't know where this is coming from. I got close to my truck and I was looking around, and meow, meow, right. So I was like, you know what sounds like it's under my hood? And I pop my hood and there's a cat there. That cat. Chilling between my reservoir and my battery. And I don't know where I picked up that cat. It's very likely she had crawled up into the motor during the night or something to stay warm, right? I know that that's pretty common with cats. in cities and stuff in particular, strays, right? But if she had done that, the only time she had is around here, my place, which is quite a bit of mesa around as well, which could mean she's a dump, which really bothers me. We got a lot of those kind of problems. Not so much with puppies, thank goodness. Those usually end up at the shelter or given away, but kittens will get dropped. Just places, right? Anywho, and around these neighborhoods, and I guess that was my guess, is that somebody would take them in. But anyway, she was up in there and she rode. She must have rode like 3, 4, 5 miles in between those two things without me hearing her until I stopped. So, holy shit, was she lucky. She could have ended up in any of the belts, right? She could have ended up in the fan, burnt herself on something, shocked herself. Trial by fire that cat got. But just picked her up, put her in the cab, and took her home with me, and she's mine. That's how that works. There's no way that I was going to let that kid then have to worry about a home after that kind of trial. Super brave, super sweet. She's very cool, just gift from God as it goes. Neat. It was neat. So I was not angry about somebody wasting my time that day, because I still met a new family member, right? So that's been what I've been dealing with. It's been pretty neat. I forgot what it was to have a baby cat around. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. Does this have a... Oh, you can set up a hotkey. At some point I should do that. So that's been the big one. Oh, I don't want this. In fact, let's shift the tone. Come on. Oh, it's on the wrong playlist. It's 4 minutes of this. No. I'll take some whistling. All right. So yeah, no. That's been my thing. Is the cat the last few days. I had a couple. I had my normal town job with my buddy, and I had to cash a check for him on Friday. It's stuff like that, but been pretty chill. And it was nice to have a new family member to take care of. Folks might remember I had a snake for a good period of time a little while ago, but it was too difficult to find food around here for that critter, so I let him go a while back. Basically, after a shedding and after the scar healed, I let him go. He was not having fun being here, and I don't blame him. This one, though, is loving it here, and I know how to take care of cats a little bit easier around here. So yeah, that's been neat. That's been the big thing. The fact that it happened right after I started taking care of this big, one of the biggest hurdles I've had to deal with, just mental block-wise for a year and 8 months or something. I mean, alongside grief, alongside everything else, right? You got the stability footing to worry about. It's neat. It's neat. It's important to listen to timing of things, and basically it's just listening. It comes, it doesn't come naturally to everybody, but the ebb and flow of the universe tends to speak here and there, and that's always been one of the things that gives me inspires within me great gratitude. So anyway, yeah, and to go from there, right? Dealing with the legal stuff. This is part of it was the updates, right? That went well. The guy was good. I don't know. Lawyers, right? You don't know what you're dealing with. Most of them will charge you for the hour flat. He charges by the time you utilize, which was great. Very helpful, very knowledgeable. He had a outlaw Josie Wales quote framed on his wall, which I was like, oh, okay. It's just a little, again, listen. That's the bit. You listen to things. Um, so, I mean, I can't be anything but grateful at the moment. There's still a lot of trials to push through on many different things, but that's life. Uh, but at the moment, you know, I'm able-bodied as far as it goes. I've got a roof over my head that's being secured. I've got a little kitten over there. I've got my healthy, happy doggo and my elder cat and my chickens and my artistic work, and I'm very lucky. So, yeah. Those are the primary two updates. Basically, now I got the consultation, so I kind of know how to proceed and what's what, which was my main issue. It was the thing that was spooking me the most from just trying to do this probate stuff myself. Was like, I don't even know where to start because of these factors, and I was able to put those factors forward. He's able to explain how they fit within the process and what paths to take within them, which is exactly what I needed. So we got that. I'm going to have at least, I'm hoping just one more meeting, but at least one more to deal with the deed once I deal with the other stuff. So yeah, I'll be updating folks through the GoFundMe on that. More specifically, I've already posted the first receipt, sans basically just my mailing address is the only thing I blacked out. Because it didn't have any personal information, but there's a lot of firms there in case, you know, folks are wondering, whatever. I don't, just like with the comic book work, you know, anything where I'm taking money from somebody else to accomplish a task, I better damn well be able to prove that that task is being accomplished with those funds. I mean, it's just the only way to respect the process. So I hope that'll be, it's what I did with the well bill as well last year. God, I can't. It's just been a series of knockdowns. But nonetheless, it's also been a series of get back up. So you can't complain. It's life. Oh, now you're calming down. See, I was all worried you were gonna.
Mondo cool.
Oh.
That's right, boys. Mondo cool.
I don't know where I heard that, but it works. So that's part of the voice triggers bit in here. Some of them are pretty sensitive. That has more specific use. At least the party one doesn't trigger that easy. I would think the cool one that just happened would be very hard to show up because of the first word there. Because of Mondo. Okay. You know, it's not a very common word. So I was hoping, but nope. It showed up anyway. There's a few of those. And there's one that'll catch me when I use the F word, which is kind of nice. But otherwise, that's the main life up there. What are you staring at? You look comfortable. Good. It's a happy cat. So yeah, that, and then another page of Jack in. I'd like to say we're on schedule, and I'm gonna until we're off schedule. We're closer to being off schedule than I'd like. Particularly on the line art, which has happened every time. So it's at this point that I'm just kind of figuring out like how to approach that. I would love to work with an artist that can nail deadlines. Now, Maxie never misses a deadline per se. He kind of does what I do, which is when the coals are actually heated up under his feet, because the timeline's gonna hit, then he did burst of inspiration. And he has different waves, right? Like I can even tell through the page quality that's been coming in, like which pages he's had to find and maybe even force the time for versus pages that like he was just there creating. And they're all great. That's the thing. It's like you can tell the difference, but it's not like this massive tonal quality shift. It's just like there was a little bit of a different feel to this page because you can tell, right? And so I'd rather a very high quality book and have him comfortable and have the time to do the work that he needs to do than trying to force out crap and getting aggressive with my artist on deadlines. We have that privilege doing crowdfunding compared to doing corporate, right? It would be nice, but this is also our 4th collaboration together, right? It's not our 50th, right? It's not a it's still a learning curve on what we can do and what we can do together. So just more of that. New Age Ninja Core says he's also off schedule, which I'm not surprised. They tried to do so very much. Between the paper shortage, which I haven't had to deal with yet, that's going to be a fun hurdle to jump onto once the book's done, but I got to take it one battle at a time. It's nice to get ahead on battles, but it's tough for me and my team most of the time. Like, I could order all the merch right now, but then it's just sitting. Which, there's some reasons to do that, inflation being one of them. But there's also inflation and then what the Fed's going to do to try and clamp down on inflation. But at the same time, I'd rather the product not exist until it has to. Simply because it my situation. If I was going to have to sit on the product, it'd be fine. But it's going to be Wicked that's sitting on the product, and there's many reasons for that to only happen as long as it absolutely has to. But yeah, it's going to be a hell of a ride. This month they're going to do another bump, right? We'll see how that affects people. People with a bunch of money in the bank are going to be happy because interest rates are going up. People with no money in the bank trying to pay rent or trying to pay mortgage or trying to pay anything, credit card bills, right? Any of that shit. Fucking A. I'm not, it's going to be a bloodbath. Our quality of life across the board globally is going to go down. Which, oh man, I don't even want to go on to that, but it's why I make my art. Let's just go from there. And a good chunk of issue number 4 is a wake up to that shit. These overarching systems of control, which have been rooted in foundations of mental illness, is the kindest way to put it, for thousands of years. But it is what it is. Oh, the cover stocks, just trying to get slightly thicker covers, because I know the last batch, and I've got, show it, did I got issue number 8 of Rags. That did take a little bit, but I'm glad to have it. And then of course the foil covers, which I'm assuming are a similar paper stock. They're just treated in some kind of manner, right? It's nice to take, like, I prefer slightly looser cover stock. Personally, I like the floppies to be pretty much their namesake as much as possible. Because I don't think we've ever printed much thicker covers, and I've liked that. My problem has always been that we're not printing on thin paper stock overall with Jack, so the overall books are relatively thick paper stock, but the cover itself is along that line. I think it's all 80 pound instead of doing some 75 and then an 80 as a cover or a 90 as a cover, right? But not 100% sure on that. But I definitely know our cover stock has always matched our interior stock. And it's never been thin, widdly stuff, which I've come across, which can be nice. the feel when reading, more magazine stock kind of feel stuff. It can be really nice. It's like reading a broken in novel, right? Some people may know what I mean. If you've ever come across, I would assume a lot of scriptures are like this as well. But come across a book that has been very well read, there's a softness to it. And it's an incredible experience. I bought my set of Full Metal Alchemist was basically all used, and man, I can tell that guy or gal must have read it 40, 50 times, because of how the pages turn compared to like I have one or two of the volumes that are relatively new to fill in the gaps, right? Night day. But honestly, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. My problem with floppies with thick cover stock is usually when they're opened once, they're open forever, if you know what I mean. Like, it'll never close again. It'll always want to do that, right? Because there's not enough weight on the cover for the weight to push it down against the tension of the paper bending at the spine. But, it's all just little, like, at the end of the day, like, that can matter to a lot of creators. And readers, I guess. I would assume it matters more to collectors, just so that they know what's going on to it. I know Eliza Bar has complained quite a few times about covers that do that forever, right? That do that. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, right? Because a lot of the folks I consider peers or, inspiration from, right? They, where was I going with that? They try very hard to provide a superior product because they ask more for the price. They ask more for that product from the customer, which is how you should do it. And paper stock is definitely one of the facets in which you can provide that higher quality. For me, I have that as a factor. I always do. But deep down in my heart, I wish I could just print these and give them away. I know that's not how it works. It's not how this, but I feel stories are meant to be consumed, to be internalized, and then of course you can reread them again and again or whatever. But I would rather that be in a again more of a book format than the floppy format. I feel the floppy format should be more throwaway. It's not, for many reasons. Especially these days, and primarily because of how much even the big guys ask for those floppies. If you're gonna buy it, then you're gonna keep it, even if you're never gonna read it again, or never read it at all, in some collectors' cases. So I don't know. It's just it's a weird balancing act for me, where I'm just like, this should be. It's all part of the performance, and so it's really tough to find the borders of the sandbox in which you want to play with, in which you are able to accept or compromise either way, right? For me, compromising is trying to provide a more premium product, whereas for me, like, as long as the story is legible, the art is captivating, and the message, as with most art, and in my opinion the art that I care about the most, the message is communicated, then the mission is complete. But there's a lot of other factors and logistics to making sure and ensuring that mission is completed. Some of those are material, some of that is deadlines, some of that is networking, some of that is marketing. It's all these other external factors that you have to play with and find your compromises and find your paths up the mountain, right? Like, do you want to go really steep fast? Do you want to go in a circle around it that'll take forever, but it's a little less steep so you can go a bit at a time? And defining that amount of effort that's needed to get up the mountain is one of the compromises as well. And so Yeah, cover stock's a tough one. Again, I haven't hit that paper shortage yet. I'm not looking forward to it when it comes time for printing. I'm not. But again, I just kind of listen, and so things will work out. Paper shortage, the cover stock, I was talking about that, which delayed some books getting printed. That makes sense. The covers on those aren't as durable. I think you're thinking of Rags 8, or you're thinking of my work, which could be it. And that would make more sense if you're thinking of books that basically the cover stock's the same as the interior. I know we print overall on heavier stock for Jack. It's definitely thicker than magazine stock, thank goodness. And I've never had one get torn to crud. In fact, the basic damages is all I've ever come across, which is, spines get tweaked in shipping or water damage, right? Water damage, I think, has only happened once in the 4 years. At least was only brought to our attention once. That's the problem, right? You don't get all the data. So it's very tough to act with any sort of certainty when it comes to correcting course for damages in particular. But you can just do your best. Howdy, Scott! Welcome! Oh, howdy, Eliza Bar. Right on! Hope folks are having a good Saturday. My coffee's finally cooled down enough I can just consume it. It's glorious. Usually when people complain about damages, it's usually cover dents, yep, or something. So you always try to make the covers durable. That makes sense. We were just chatting, so I did a couple updates. Talked about the kitten that's over there. I talked about the legal stuff as much as I kind of can, really. There's some specifics I could get into, but again, I just... through the GoFundMe, I told people if you really need to know any kind of specifics, I'm happy to discuss them through like an email or something less public. There's not like anything that would be troublesome for me, but like I didn't want to air dirty laundry to begin with, right? Like I didn't, but things came together in a way in which I needed to ask for help. And if you're going to ask for help, you better do it honestly and as forthcoming as possible. And so I'm trying to walk that line, right? Getting the durable cover option. That makes sense. That was the delay from the paper shortage because it was harder to get a hold of the stronger cover stock. That makes sense. Did you see Sony shipped 100 editions of Last of Us PS5 and bubble mailers, and everybody's copies are coming crushed? Woo! You know it's bad when the multi-million-dollar corporations are fucking up. You shipped in bubble mailers or bubble wrap? It's crazy. Oh. I know Nintendo had to talk about that a little bit. And Sony's like, well, we're raising the price on the PS5 because of shipping costs and production costs, right? And because you made it so expensive to begin with, and you launched during a time in which nobody could afford them, and you didn't have enough for the folks who wanted to afford them. It was a mess. This generation was a mess of a launch. They certainly pretend like it's not, but it's a mess. Microsoft did a little bit better in terms of like saving face, but it's a mess. But that's crazy. No, I didn't know that. They are going to spend a lot in replacements, or they are going to get a lot of shit. Had more than a few damaged comics. That's the big one. Damage from the printer. That's the big one. Like it sucks. I was able to, and that's what sucks about it. The best relationship I've had with the printer now is gone because the individual has passed. My connection, the personable bit, the thing that facilitated my ability to get these books out in a way which respected myself, respected my work, and respected possibility of future work together. So that's annoying. That's annoying. But that's a big one. you know, you have to make it clear in how you expect the books to arrive. Like, you're going to have damages from the printer. Like, I get that. I'm sure some are much better, especially if you pay them more for shipping or what have you, at packaging to arrive safely to you. But the books on, I mean, there's a reason there has always been redundancies built into bulk shipping. Like, it's gonna happen. Things, especially if you're shipping things made of paper, right? Um, dumb things are gonna happen. Somebody puts an X-Acto knife too far in and cuts it open, right? I've gotten quite a few games like that, particularly through Walmart, right, where somebody was opening the box and then just split the game case open while he was doing that, right? I'm certain it happens with books. I'm certain it happens with magazines. And water damages as well, just the wrong time that you ship them, right? Certain amount of, they had two shipments. One was yours, one was another one, and it was raining the whole fucking day, and so they had to push through to get this one shipment that didn't include yours, but since yours was bundled in there, it had to deal with getting moved at the same time in the rain or whatever, right? There's just little dumb things that you can't see. That's the redundancy. So you could expect some. It's I got a warning about this printer that I did have a great interaction with from another creator, because literally 75% of his order came in destroyed, like unusable. And so he made a great effort to tell me, like, that's what happened for me, man. Just make sure they're not using this plant and you should be okay. The reason I use this printer is because I had quite a few folks who I respect who had to use this printer. And I saw the quality in which the books were delivered. And so I made it clear in discussing with the representative of that printer, like, if you treat them that way, you kind of need to treat me that way, or this relationship's not going to work. I know what your standard is, or what what the quality that you can live up to is. And so if I'm expecting less because I'm a smaller creator, I'm doing a disservice to you, and I'm doing a disservice to myself. And then if I'm doing a disservice to myself, I'm doing it, or to the work overall, I'm doing it to a bunch of team members, I'm doing it to my readers, I'm doing it to a bunch of folks, right? So that's my job, is to stand there and demand what we deserve. That's part of the creative management, part of all of it. And so I lucked out, and it was a cool cat who's like, no, I want to deliver good books too. And that's all I needed, right? And so we did. First couple times I got the proofs, I was like, what the fuck is this? This is how they sent me the proofs. I still wasn't that happy with how they sent the second to last proofs. I needed 3 proofs because the first time was disgusting. It was... I get why they did it, how they did it. It's very cheap. But, like, for me, and the definition of proof was different than what I had experienced with other printers. For them, it just means this is what the pages look like. It's not like what the final product's going to look like. And that's what mattered to me. I want to see what the final product that you're going to produce is before I approve this. Like, that's the point of a proof to me. For them, it's just like, this is what it looks like. So it was uncut pages, right? Just put into a fucking bendable folder and shipped to me, and the pages were fucking... the edges were all whacked around. There wasn't braced. It wasn't in a bubble mailer or nothing. It was just like, for me, it was a sign of extreme disrespect. And so I got to that individual connection again. Rest in peace, man. Wonderful individual. And he's like, yeah, no, that wasn't acceptable. I told them not to do that. And then the second time, they basically just sent me the same thing again, except this time it had a rigid piece of, I don't know, it's not quite plywood. It's like what clipboards are made of. It had that there. So the pages came in better, but they're still knocked all around. I was like, no. This is what I want. I want what is the finished book going to look like? I want them bound. I want them cut. I want to see what I am going to be giving the people who paid for these, right? That's my job. And he's like, oh, yeah, no, that's what I thought I told them. And so then the last time I finally got finished completed books, and I looked at it and I was like, okay, this is fine. They came in all right. They weren't completely destroyed. I can look at a few of them to see what the variation is. All of that. I proved them. And then I got my first wave after they printed them all. Went ahead and printed them all. Got my first like part of the batch they sent to me. You know, the comp copies or whatever you want to call them, right? I did the same for Steve, Vince, and Maxie. But I got them in, and I was super stoked because I thought, okay, these are going to be fine. And then eventually I compared them to the proofs, and I compared them to previous printings, and that was a whole debacle, right? I have a video on it. It's like, oh, I'm so stoked I got these books. And then I was like, you know what? I didn't take the time to really look through them. And then I took the time to look through them, and, you know, pixelization, there's some ink smudging, or whatever you'd call it, to do with lettering. There's a bunch of little, like, there was a crease that ran through most of the books, bottom third of the second half of the books, right? So the rollers weren't aligned properly, or there was something on a roller that was creasing the book. Just little things like that. And then so I got back to him. I was like, well, there's 1,500 books that are likely unusable from what it looks like from my copies that I got. And that was a fight I was not looking forward to. But again, I had a wonderful individual in my corner who was also in their corner. I had a facilitator. That's super important, is that you have somebody who wants the best for both parties. If you're dealing with in a business interaction and one party's out to get the best for them at whatever cost it is to you, yeah, it's not going to work. And I've seen a lot of creators partner with individuals at various stages of their creations and get completely boned because of that, right? Because they didn't realize that this person was not in their corner. They were very much looking out solely for their own self-interest. Whereas, again, I lucked out with this connection who realized, as much as I do, that their self-interest is mine because I want to keep working and giving them work as long as it's done to the standard in which is not only acceptable, but preferably above what I expect. And so we worked that out, and we ended up getting another print run done that was up to code. And I'm sure somebody got some trouble down there at that printer, which was the printer that I was warned about. That basically the company I worked for has multiple printers in which they ship their work to, right? Or not worked for, but I worked with. And so that's always a problem with this large. Just like I know Mixam Printing as well. They're middlemen between factory and customer, and that was the same situation with these folks, except I believe that they actually do own the printing companies under them, whereas Mixam, I think, more is simply a middleman. But anyway, printing's a hell of a thing, and I'm sure my next go is going to be an equal trial. I am going to contact the folks I worked with before, just in case that could work again. It's the main reason I worked with them was this individual who passed. So it's tough for me to feel like I will be treated the same, but at the same time, like, I think I may owe it to that company to at least try. So we'll see. Also depends if they can fit me in the schedule, right? That's the big one. Whatever can work will work. Again, it's for me, a lot of it is feeling the vibes as they come in, as the time gets closer, which is not great for business management, but it does allow this crazy thing I do to exist. So for now, I'm fine with that. Oh, right on. Have fun, Eliza Bar. Are there guns in Minecraft? I'm sure you could modify them, but you can. Oh, maybe you just mean arrows. I know there's bows in Minecraft. I played very little Minecraft back in like 2014, and I haven't played since. I had a buddy who was super into Redstone because it helped him teach him programming. And so I was like, I really respected Minecraft being able to do that, right? Providing a 3D environment in which, interactive and fun environment in which somebody can learn to program. I think that's really cool. But I never got into that. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I haven't seen Wicked's latest. That bugs me too, man. Latest print run of Jack with the altered covers or any of that, so I have no idea how the current run that you can buy publicly through them at the moment is. But I've seen other books printed by Greco Printing, which is who they use, and they are nice. So that's my other option. I just know they're a bit more expensive than the folks I worked with for issue number 3's campaign. The nice thing is I only have to print issue number 4. I don't have to do another big print run of 1 through 3. So it should be significantly cheaper, which is nice. And less variables to worry about. So we'll see. We'll see. The main variable I'm kind of worried about is what I was worried about before, that same individual with that printer helped me work out, which was lining up a double page spread correctly. And, I don't feel too bad if it doesn't come out perfect, because I've seen many print runs of, manga and stuff that have not the best, I think it would be called a bleed balance, basically for the interior, so that the image in the middle of the binding, so, I hope you can pick it, lines up correctly from left to right? If you don't have that, say it's in the middle of a big book, then there's a good chance that the page is bound deeper in than it will unfold to, and so your image will lose, it'll basically overlap. So you'll lose, maybe a couple a centimeter or two. But when you're dealing with line art and you're dealing with certain compositions on pages, that can be a very big problem. And so that was another thing that printer really was cool with helping me with. And I think Nico Buffo, our graphic designer and the guy who puts together the books before we send them on out, I think he's got a handle. So we'll see. I don't know. Because we have one double page spread where that's going to be super important. If you have Wrath, Chapter 3, it's a Greco. That's what I thought. They're nice. They're nice. Like, I have had no problems with the books I've gotten from Wicked creators since they moved to Greco. So, like, that is where I'm going to head if these other folks don't feel close to the same.
Oh, Mondo cool. That's right, boys. Mondo cool.
Apparently it's happy about me doing that. No, that one was still on because it's on a different scene, so it didn't turn off. It is what it is. I still like that thing. I'm just going to have to figure out, maybe I just put it on a button instead of a voice command. But I like it. I like the voice command, so it's tough. It would be this page. This is the page I'm a little worried. Maxie did learn. Thank goodness. I tried to tell him. So with issue number 2, pages 2 and 3. Was it 2 and 3? No, pages 3 and 4 where Jack is centered around the 4 horsemen around him, right? I really love those pages. I think it was a great composition. It looks great. But when you print it, if you don't have that bleed on the interior of the binding correctly, his face gets halved, right? And then the circle doesn't feel like a circle. It becomes an egg, right? It becomes an oval. It's really noticeable because of how he composed that page. And smart mangaka and other artists who have experience with printing, right? A smart editor is who's supposed to really catch this until the artist learns it. Will make sure that compositions of double page spreads do not have the center, the focus be in the center. Because that'll allow you more wiggle room for that bleed mistake to occur. You won't look as bad. In this case, this is close, but I think you'd catch Jack. The worry would be this finger, the part of the train, the smoke. Like, all of that has a possibility of being lost. But the center of this panel, right, is not going to be at least a focal point of this. So you'll still see the motion. You'll still see Jack, even if we don't nail that binding. Because you can't know until you actually bind the books, too, right? You can only, like, it should be about this. It really is an art more than a science for that. So we won't know. But compositionally, this one can dodge those pitfalls compared to that 3-4 spread in issue number 2. So we'll see. But since while we're in here, spoilers for issue number 4. This is literally all of it up to a point. New page. So this one needs the color work to stand out more, and so he's doing some pages where you don't need the color work so much, right? You'll see like this one, right? Like boom, it's just so heavily inked that doesn't need it so much. The detail pops up, it looks great. Still probably my favorite page he's produced. But then and like even this, right? The inks do a lot of the texture and the feel. He even did it for the clouds, the sky, right? I was talking about this earlier, is you can tell some pages have a different feel because this is stupid, but I think other artists, particularly writer-artist collaborations and the writer within that, should be able to tell when the artist was having to put more effort into having a page manifest. I think that's the best way I can put it. So you see like this. Very crisp and clear. Look at the bike, right? Detail, very crisp, clear. He was having a lot of fun. Even the stance with Jack is kind of funny to me. I don't know why the arm's down there, but then he was able to do the white border there so it doesn't blend in with the motor. I mean, it's really... He spent time on this panel, and you can tell it just feels really good. Even this, right? Like, it's very doodly, which is kind of sketchy, I guess would be the term. It still feels very clean and puts forward the image, and once colors on it, it's going to communicate it very clearly. And it's classic technique. He wants you looking over here, and then you follow it to Jack, right? You go here, and then Jack's talking, and then you move over here, and this guy's talking and pointing, and then boom, right? It's storytelling in comics. It's pacing and flow in comics. Maxie's fucking killer at it. Then you get to this one. It's the wall. Boom, wham, and that's what it's supposed to. The wall's an important metaphor in the story, so he spent some time doing it and making it feel old and mechanical and just junky, and it feels how it should. And then the little sketch of the horses, you can tell that horses just implies it, which is all you need to do. Then you get to this. It's a little sketchy. It's a little sketchy, Maxie. It's a little sketchy for the panel, right? Like, it's fine. Once colors on it, it'll be much harder to tell how sketchy it is. But it's pretty sketchy. Like that's sketchy. Even fact, like from there to there, the bike's tank compared to his gut is a little... It's sketchy. Doesn't have as much texture. Then you get down here. Even Jack's a little sketchier than I'm used to him being here. I noticed that right away when I saw it. It's still good. He still hits all the same notes. It still is Jack. It feels like him, but it's sketchier than this Jack, right? You just feel it. But that might have also been so that your attention is drawn to these heads. But I also feel the heads are a little sketchy. So I think he was forcing himself a little bit on this page. I don't feel like this is... if you've read Sandman, the first couple issues with Sam Keith and Neil Gaiman, you can feel that dichotomy and that opposition between the two, like, from panel 1. Like, it is not good. You can tell that that creative team, particularly Sam Keith, had to continuously be reined in to meet Neil Gaiman's approval. And Sam Keith is not an artist I want to rein in. I want him to go nuts, because that's when his work is... it's at its best, at its peak, is when he can use exaggeration in paneling, in figure, in movement. That's when Sam Keith's the greatest. Neil Gaiman did not want that. You can feel that compromise, not just being compromised, but being it's a leash. It's hard to, it's kind of, but anyway, you don't feel that here. You don't feel the leash or anything, because I don't really give notes on the pages. Just like, did he follow the script enough for me to write to it? There's a couple parts in this. I've read the pages to the script. Well, I'm going to have to adjust. There's a few parts with how he chose to tell the story that just do not fit exactly what I had placed there, and that's partially on me. It's partially on a language barrier, and it's partially because I really do trust his storytelling more than mine. And so I'm happy to adjust. It's much easier for me to adjust to the line art than it is for his line art to go back and be adjusted to my script. And I'm totally fine with that because it comes out better. I've done that every issue. Works great. But you can tell it's sketchier. The page is sketchier. Most of the time was spent up here on this wall. This is probably hours and hours on this wall. And then he got to these other panels. He's like, okay, I'll get this done. I just wanted to have something to lead it because that's what I said in the script. So he did it. Looks great. And so your attention's drawn away from here to the pipe, which is great. It's all crooked and messed up, just kind of tacked on there, which is exactly what I want. Because when we get to the sick man, that's what it is. And then we get to this, where we can see that, like, people are part of the wall. And then we get our individual, and it helps imply this guy, the sick man's entrance, which is not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be an alcove, what I call it, which is what here. This is an alcove, right? That's what I expected, was just another one of these. But Maxie instead literally made him part of the wall, which is a much better metaphor for what I'm trying to communicate in these pages. And not only that, he led into it. These are all things that, like, I kind of did, but how he read them and then structured them into visuals communicates it better than what I imagined. And that's a specific example of it. It's just so good. It's just so good. Like, and it just implies him being part of the wall, and suddenly he's out. Then we have our conversation. And the character design is what I wanted. It's a little bit of Warlock from the New Mutants. Supposed to be a little bit more 40k-y, but then he's like, eh. So he did it. He implies the cybernetics, which is important. And then he gave him pouches, which is kind of one of Maxie's things. And the next few pages, like this page, I can tell he really enjoyed. He liked drawing the sick man in this scene. Just the personality he threw into Jack during the conversation. The emotion he was able to convey with the sick man is really important. This panel in particular. This one, you're going to sound a little bit crazy, but I saw this image before, long before I saw this panel in a dream. So I'm very impressed he communicated it. And then so I was like, oh, fucking hey, I've seen that before. That was one of those senses of deja vu. But what he was able to do with this conversation and what it means to the overarching story of issue number 4 is exactly what I wanted. And he was able to take a different type of storytelling in the art form and in his artistic choices to it. And I can tell he was energized, these pages, which was great. Then we get to this one where most of the energy went into this panel. I can just tell. Which is great. Again, this is the panel that, like, is most important to the point of the page. But this in particular. And basically it all led up. This is the new page that I got on. This page 13. We've got 3 more pages till we're halfway, so we're almost halfway. We are 40% done, I guess. The pyramid is simply implied, which is good, because the story, I just want to hint at it, and people ask what it is, and then we still have a journey to get there. So perfect. It's just in terms of, like, standalone inking. So Steve's actually going to do some texture work on this to still imply that it's like it's the goal that's coming up, right? It's this big reveal, but at the same time it's not there yet. And so if it was just inks, he would have to make this and the garbage stacks and all that other stuff that's going on here stand out. Instead, he is able to, because he can trust Steve to give the texture and the depth, he's able to imply things a bit more and bring our focus both to the period, from Jack to the pyramid. And of course the gate opening, and then he did the Dutch angle, which gives it a bit of creep form, which I really like. And then we get on our drive. Again, this is a bit sketchier, but I like it. It works. It does its job. Then we get our break, and that he's driving on these faces, and then I get to do my social commentary as I usually do. This panel, I might actually have him black out. Basically, since I haven't been able to communicate properly, there's a rhythm of 4 throughout issue number 4. It's pretty consistently, and one of those rhythms is Jack's cigarettes. He burns through 4 of them throughout the adventure. But that wasn't communicated enough with this guy that he had finished this last smoke. So this doesn't communicate it great. It's just like, why is that there? So I'm thinking I will have him black that out, and then I could just use that for text. And I think it'll work great, and it'll still communicate exactly what I need to. It's the only artistic note that I've had basically this entire time. And I could possibly even have Steve black that panel out. So it's not really an issue. But yeah, as part of the storytelling, it doesn't work because we haven't focused on the cigarettes getting smaller like I had hoped. There's a few bits that are progressive that I had put in the script, that hopefully we hit some of it in these next few pages, because it's relatively important to one of the ideas I'm trying to convey is the further away you get from power, the more chaotic it is. And so you see all the trash and garbage up here. Well, that's supposed to, as we continue closer to the pyramid, get smoothed out, get gathered into specific categories, get organized, and it's that bit of like control, right? But that control is more of an epicenter of event. It isn't a overarching like web, like it likes to be perceived as. So I would like that actually to be communicated, but we'll see. Yeah. What are you doing, Nami? Come here, Kit Kat. Come here. No, you're gonna go out there? You can go out there. Okay. But, yeah, this is a new page. I do think I want to black out that panel. It'll help with the composition as well, I think. It'll kind of wrap it around in black, which will look cool. But, yeah, just because I think it's unnecessary. In the script, it was necessary because of the setup I put on it. Necessary. Necessary in quotes. But with how the pages are coming together from editorial, I think I'd erase that, and it'll actually help with pacing as well as I rewrite to the script. But this is the new page. This is page number 13 of Jack Irons Steel Cowboy, issue number 4, live on Indiegogo right now. Now it's in pre-orders, in demand, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm going to say pre-orders are still open. I think that makes more sense and is more clear to folks than in demand. If you're part of Indiegogo's like culture, you know what in demand is. But if you're not, which most people are not, and I think a lot of creators forget that and just keep selling to the same people. It's not that helpful. Like, what the fuck is in demand? People understand. I used the F word, but it didn't bring up. I guess I just wanted attention. It's okay, voice bot. It's okay. Skip track?
As you wish.
Are both playing? Both are playing. Oh, it heard that? Really? Oh, come on. Oh, I guess it is open, so I gotta double click on this to bring up the menu. Oh, it heard that. Wonder when it heard that. I mean, you can read what it hears. It's not very good. It doesn't like train, but it knows what it is the closer what you say is to what you say. And it would rather do it and the words not be right than not do it and have the words be right, which is good. I mean, if I was designing a program for this, that's what I do. Hi. Hi, little one. What do you think? What do you think? You want to say hi? Cat. So yeah, that's VoiceBot. My ever loyal band leader. Skip track.
As you wish.
Thank you kindly, VoiceBot. So yeah, that's the main bit of all of this. That is the main point of all of this. So we'll see. Issue is coming together. I think we've got 3 more pages to finish out the message from the sick man encounter, and then we're on to the dead man, which is the climax before the resolution of the shaman. So I'm pretty excited. Issue's coming together pretty well. It's definitely my favorite issue I've structured within Jack, by far. I think it's got the most folktale feel to it. It's got the most weight behind it. It's the closest to how Jack should feel that I've got to so far. So I'm pretty excited. It's moving forward. Not as quick as I'd like, but it's moving forward. Cat. What? And so there you go. It's a new page. I already previewed this panel, so I don't feel too bad about it. It's an important panel. He took the direct reference, which was kind of funny. I was thinking more human faces, but this communicates, and it's the reference I gave him. It's basically directly from the reference, and it works really well in context as directly from the reference. So I'm glad he took direct inspiration, even though that's not what I intended. There's little things like that. That's why I love the collaborative nature of it, is that there's the unforeseen chaos of working with another individual and trying to communicate ideas. If you find the right people, you can end up with better stuff than what you had imagined. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked on issue number 4. It's come together well. Besides that, we did a website overhaul earlier in the week, and it wasn't much of an overhaul. I was thinking of ground up, but I did not have the energy. So the main thing I did was delete all the merch, basically, because it wasn't selling anyway. It was just taking up space on the front page. So I deleted most of the merch. It's still pissing me off because it won't let me log into the auto posters I use through Shopify right now. It says account will not be found, yet it's still posting merchandise that's no longer available. So the merch that you're seeing posted on my Twitter, about 90% of it will just lead you to the front page, which is not great, and I can't cancel the campaigns for those because I can't log in, and it's pulling products that don't exist anymore, which is very odd to me. Because I made sure I archived them, and they're not available anymore, so the robot shouldn't be able to pull from them, but it is. So I don't know how early it schedules those posts in its system when you have them ready. So I'm hoping next month that's resolved just automatically if I can't log in before then, which hopefully I can. But I redid that, removed again 90% of the merch, so there's still some stuff there if people want to support that way. But there had been a price increase with the shipping and the printing through the different apps I use through there, Printful, Printify, such, and it didn't compensate that in my prices. So when people were ordering from me from the last 3 months, I usually ended up losing about $2 or $3, whatever you ordered. Which was not the intent of the people purchasing things, and it bothered me. So I finally took care of that. I raised the prices as well on the merch that we do have. So now I will actually make $1 or $2 off of merch sales instead of losing $1 or $2 to get you that mug or get you that shirt. So that's nice. At the same time, I went ahead and I remixed the Recluse teaser trailer that I've been using for a while. That was all in black and white, and that's what I thought the book was going to be, but the ever incredible Scott K and his very cool team decided to go color with the wonderful B. Novato. So I went ahead and remixed it so that it's color images now, which is cool. I want to do a trailer, a complete redo trailer of it at some point. I don't know when, and I if I'm gonna do it, I think I'll do it after release so that I can utilize the full preview and parts of the full preview instead of just the first page. I don't want to show too much in the trailer, but I need more to work with if I want to do above a teaser, so we'll get there. But I redid that, and then I made sure that each of the series that have the free reads posted to our front page on the website now also have their trailer linked right there. So if somebody's kind of curious, they can watch the trailer, and if they like that, they can just click and go read it. I think that's a better setup than what I had. Yeah, I think I redid the fonts as well, so it's got a different feel to it. Still feels like a 90s website, which I'm cool with the black, neon, and red, right? Neon green and red. It works for us, I think. That was that big update. It took a bit. Most of it was redoing that trailer. I was hoping I could just swap in images. In a way I did, but I still had to redo things. It wasn't as easy as it could have been, but it was a lot easier than from scratch. So, yeah. That's kind of what's happened over here right now. Steve hopefully starts coloring end of this month, beginning of next month, so those updates will come in as that occurs. He's on a couple monthlies, and there's one that he's been coloring behind the scenes that hasn't come out yet, and so he's trying to get ahead on that one, and he's thinking end of this month, beginning of next, he'll have some time to get some jack work in, which would be great. And then we hopefully will be going out to the printer by end of October. But it's up to Maxie, basically, at this point, like when he can get this line art done. There's a lot of things that are discussed and sound good, but don't happen. One of these was I was hoping line art production would be done by the end of the campaign, and instead Maxie got married on a whim and spent a good time in the honeymoon, and then there was other things that happened that he fell behind on another project, and so he had to go ahead and catch up on that, which it's coming out gorgeously. If you folks have not checked out Kids and Monsters by Gifted Rebels, the wonderful Adam Lawson, please do. Very cool to see Maxie tackle a graphic novel length piece with the ever incredible Mike Spicer, which people will know from he's basically been Daniel Warren Johnson's colorist forever, and so he does some really cool work. I'm not the biggest fan of his choices on Maxie's lines, but I'm biased. I think Maxie probably likes them better than Steve, because Maxie likes the more grounded tones, where I really like the more vibrancy paired to his grit. So it's personal taste, right? But it's still really cool that he's working with that professional colorist who's done Marvel work. He's done basically everything that Daniel Johnson's done. Most recently, I think, is Duo Powerbomb, which is Warren Johnson's newest creator-owned work. But he was on Murder Falcon. He was on Beta Ray Bill. He was on Wonder Woman Dead Earth, right? So it's really cool that Maxie gets to work with those kind of folks. And I honestly hope one of the big companies actually tries to scoop him up and give him a consistent paycheck with notoriety, but hasn't happened yet. But as long as folks keep giving him work, I'm very happy, because much as I wish I could just book him and keep him fed and happy and family taken care of, it's not something I can do right now. So I'm happy to compromise to continue working with this individual for what's going to be our 8th year next year. Yeah. We need to see how current campaigns shuffle out to see what's next for the reviews. Exactly. It's going to take time. But yeah. That's the long and short of like everything right now. I did start work on issue 5 a little bit better. I've structured it. I always knew what the main idea and focus of issue 5 of Jack is, and I've always been super intimidated by it, because it needs to tackle some very heavy shit in a very respectful manner that's also uplifting, while maintaining the bit of sorrow that is the truth of what I'm talking about. And hitting it correctly is still very scary for me. But if I do it right, it should be the most important bit of work I've done. Issue 6 won't even come close. Issue 6 important for what I'm doing next. It'll be fun. It's got some really cool stuff behind it, but issue 5 is like I've been prepping basically everything, including issue 4, is preparation to hit the notes in issue 5. It's basically the mini-series like climax, right? It's the most important. It's the thesis. It's when all the cards are put on the table, right? So it's really important, but I did figure out how I want to structure it. And I think it'll be really cool. It basically will harken back to issue number 1 quite a bit, which again, it's the symmetry and the ideas. And if I do it right, it'll be incredible. And so yeah, I found out the structure I want to do it with, which is cool because I just had the idea in my mind trying to kick it around back and forth forever. Now I have the tone I need to set with it, and I have the structure of how I'm going to set that tone. So then I need to do a more basic outline on how to actually tackle that structure, and then I need to write it. So much closer in issue 5. Issue 4's got a bunch of rewrites when I do the lettering script. So that's going to be the next like serious writing I'm going to do is on the lettering script, and I'd like to have at least half the issue done before I do that. And I might share some of the lettering script on this, but that's like, I feel the art that I show is spoilers, right? If I also do the writing, it's spoilers, right? Even if my lettering's terrible. So we'll see if I'm thinking of spoiling the lettering script through Patreon because people might still be interested in that process, but it is massive spoilers. So I'd have to do a big like massive spoilers lettering script or something for the title of it. Just make sure people know, like, you get to read it before anybody else. It's not going to read as good as it's going to read later. It's not going to be in color. But you'll get the idea of what's going to hit people's hands in terms of story content. So it might be cool. I don't know yet. I don't know. But yeah, that's where we're on in that process. We're waiting for colors from Steve, not just on Jack 4, which at least I have a timeline on when he'll start that, but also Cactus Coyote. It's a preview short. It's Ashcan, as we're calling it. There's only a few pages left on that, so I'm hoping he'll tackle that around the same time he's tackling issue number 4, Jack. And then once that's done, we'll have the comics. We'll have the digital IronVerse expanded universe stuff ready to go, which is excellent. At least digitally, right? And then we'll go from there. Yeah. Yeah, there's not much else to say. I think I've spoken about my process again, as I usually tackle things as the battle comes. There's a lot of writers, particularly Dollar Coins, who like is happy to tackle things as inspiration occurs, and then inspiration is pretty much continuous, and so he needs to continue to write. So you end up with a massive amount of material, and good material. Whereas with me, like, I wish I could do that just so it's prepared and sitting there, but like if there's no mission or objective to the work, it's much harder. Like direct mission that it is contributing to at that time, it's much harder for me to pull that stuff off. Like a smart individual would have already written 5 and 6. For me, like, I need to write as I live. The tone of each issue really does end up hitting notes concurrent with either where my life is going or where my life has been. So it's important to me to be creating in the moment, so it feels the most honest and earnest. But that, that does not work for a lot of creators, and it doesn't take away from the honesty or earnestness of their creation either. It's just a different color, a different flavor of it, right? And so yeah, like I don't have a bunch of stuff to show you folks. But that's, yeah, that basically covers it. That basically covers it. There's not anything else I really need to cover right now. Let me look in case, but I don't think so. Oh, it's too late. So Mrs. H sent me some bread, which is very kind, and the sketch cards, which she's been caught up on for a day or two now. But she was pretty much caught up until then already. She's very good at getting work done, timely manner when you expect it. Which, again, like as a collaborator, like that means so much to me. Oh, it might be in a box. Might have to head to town today. But yeah, she said the bread should be at the P.O. box. I'll go and check it out. It might be... They might not have put it in a box. So if that's the case, my post office closes at 10:30 on Saturdays in the morning. So it's you can't pick up stuff that's behind the counter. Just stuff that they put in the boxes or into your own P.O. box. So we'll see. I'll go check. I'll go check today. That's for sure. Yeah, I guess this is the other update I can show you, folks. Oh, you're right there. You came back. Good cat. So that's been nice. That right there's been nice. Alita and my elder cat never really, like, they can be in the same space together. They've laid next to each other like maybe twice in the last couple years. Like, it's not my cat is not personable with anybody but me. She never has been. As she got older, like, things got harder, and the puppy didn't like help because it's just a lot of energy, right? And so her and this cat as well have like best friends or nothing. But the last, day or two, at least Midnight's come out of hiding, which has been a part of it. And she's been laying next to us. She's back to her normal routine since the puppy came in, which has been nice since yesterday. She's been back because I was pretty worried. But these two are getting along, which I'm super happy for. Because Miss Alita, since I since I had to quit my job, that was one of my perks at that gig. She'd come with me and she'd get to play with other dogs. It was only she saw I'd work, about 5 to 7 hours a day. And she'd only get to play between 1 and 2 hours, sometimes only 45 minutes throughout that period. The rest of the time she was just kind of stuck in what we call, their run, it's kennel, close enough. It's not exactly what it was, but close enough. And so, I was always kind of worried that she really wasn't having that much fun. But at the same time, when she's out, she was having a lot of fun. So it was kind of an interesting balance. But I felt really, really bad last couple of weeks because she hasn't had that stimulation, that interaction with other dogs, which is more high energy and more fulfilling than what I can give her as a person, right? Getting older too, my joints aren't holding up like I wish they were. And so that's been hurting. That hurts my soul. That she's not having as much fun as she used to. But since the kitten, she's had something to interact with and kind of figure out. They haven't gotten to mutual play yet, but they are sharing spaces. They are figuring each other out, which is really nice because, again, Midnight, my elder cat, she and Alita they couldn't even really communicate. They could be in a similar space or whatever, but like Alita would go up to sniff or whatever, and it would just be too much for the elder. Too big, too intimidating. Since the kitten is pliable, she's figuring out that Alita doesn't mean nothing. She's just trying to figure you out. And so, that's been nice. Looks like this one too. She took some claws. Not like before I got her. Something whacked her in the face pretty good. Because she's got scabs under her left eye and in her left ear. So she had a rough go of it. This little one here. But, dish little one. But, she's been super grateful. And she's been very cuddly and like really happy to have a home. Like it was directly like nothing but gratitude and affection for pulling her out of the motor, right, and giving her a place to stay. So that's again been super fulfilling. Hi, miss. Yes, I'm in shorts. Deal with it. I broke the illusion that I look professional. Worth it for the cat. Konami. So, yeah. Oh, hi, baby girl. Doing cat stuff. Meow. So, yeah. That's what I've been doing. Alright, hour and a half? Hour and a half. Alright, that'll do. I might be back later today with like a gaming stream or preferably a drawing stream. I've been wanting to hit this image. So part of the reason I haven't been doing drawing is the same reason I don't do gaming sometimes, because I feel like it's more of a responsibility now than fun. And so with the drawing, I tend to want to do the sketch cards, but there's not a single image that's being suggested that like I really want to draw. There's one in particular that I'm just like, I gotta get through, which has hampered my desire to draw. But I want to do a personal piece off of this image. So maybe I'll do that later today if I feel up to it. Oh, there's a new animation to show. What am I thinking? There's a new animation to show as well. But off of this image, that's why I scanned it. Takahashi's line work has always been something I really envy. Best way to put it, there's this certain delicacy to the lines that like recalls calligraphy, right? But at the same time, the design's not overly complicated. I'm not going to be able to do the tones like what you did here, or the X's there I might try, or this. But the shapes are still like nice and clean. And how she varies the thickness of lines, right? For the fuzz, it's super thin, and then for his hair, it's thick and then thin and then thick again. Like you can really feel the brush strokes. And so I like being able to just kind of feel that out, even though it's you know, it's just drawing from a reference, right? A direct reference. It's not tracing, but it's about as close as you get. But that's how I can draw at the moment. I don't have the fundamentals. But that's something I want to draw just for a personal piece. It looks like I'd have a lot of fun. It's clean and simple enough to do. And then maybe afterwards I'll feel warmed up and I'll want to do a sketch card. There's a couple of Jack I'd like to do. There's a couple of Tracker, right? There's one of Sarah as well that needs to be done for me. Then there's a Cyber Frog I've got to do. There's this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles bad guy who like was just called like Ninja something something in an episode that somebody requested. That's a really cool character design, so like to see that. I'd like to do that at some point. But this is the one that's like, I feel like drawing this. So I would like to get back into the mode probably by doing that. So I'd like to do that. Maybe we'll do that this afternoon. And then Mrs. H did another wonderful animation. There's no sound to it, so I don't need to put that on. It's always felt very Dragon Ball to me, this hut that Maxie did, and then Steve just did the wonderful coloration to it. And what Mrs. H did, which was very cool, is make the glow move, and then of course the smoke moves. Simple animation, but it breathes a lot of life into the piece, which is why we work with her. It's just to breathe a little bit more life into the piece, and to motion attracts eyes better than still image. It's just how we're built, evolution, based on evolution, right? The predator or prey instinct is all based on movement. It can be based on scent, it can be based on taste even, and of course hearing. But sight, at least if you engage one of those in a more direct manner than simply an image, I think it helps. So yeah, that's all the updates. I want to use this one for something on the channel. I haven't updated with a lot of the animations she's had. I haven't done much with them on the channel since. Like the main things I've used stuff for are like this, right? And then like this, super helpful, or this, which the mic and music is off on, right? Oh, hi, kitty cat. So yeah, I don't know. I would like to do some with that, but there's only so much. Maybe I'll use them for the standby loops on the my sweetheart, on the drawing scene. That's what they call it, which I think is this one. Yeah, maybe I'll use it for the pause on this one. Yeah, because I don't have a standby on this. That's kind of, yeah, that's likely what I'll do then. Okay. But yeah, this is a big stuff. So and also the less I use those animations, the more likely they will stand out when I use them in a trailer or something, right? People won't get as sick of them. I'm sure people are pretty sick of the ones I've used pretty consistently, but I don't care. The point is branding, so part of branding is repetition. Oh, you're a happy girl. I was worried she'd be pulling stuff over all this whole stream, because when I was setting up, she just kept tugging at the... Over there? You gonna wear the hat? What are you doing, Nose? No, she's gonna bat at the hat's tassels. That makes sense. So yeah, that'll, oh, there goes my mouse. That'll probably do it. Hour 40. Yeah, that's fine. Let me find the mouse. Coffee's cold now. It's too hot for too long, which I was hoping the heat would make it last long. It's not as cold as it gets. I have to be happy. Yeah, let me see, is there anything else I need to... I think I'll update the campaign here on Monday, just in case Maxie does get any more work in with the new page, right? I don't want to update every new page. I would rather do it batches of pages like I did this last one. We'll see. There's also a bunch of IronVerse quickies I have to get to. There's a ton of them. I pulled out the stack that I need to, and I've only hit Sailor Rogowski, which I wish YouTube still allowed addendums, because I would love to put an addendum that says, well, the backwards page was a artistic choice. Because once it's explained to me, I get it, and it's really cool. But having come off manga and then trying to read left to right when it is bound right to left simply provided dissonance, but in context it does, that dissonance is providing an extra artistic layer, which is really cool. And a smarter individual than I would piece that together probably naturally, but not me. So I would love to put an addendum, particularly when it's like an artistic intent that I didn't pick up on that I'm later told about. I would love to put an addendum. Can't do that, but I gotta do that. I owe Scott, if he's still here, a couple quickies on Wrath, which I'd love to do now that the campaign's live in particular. There's quite a few others. I got Dracula in. I got Clint Stoker's Dracula in from Sweetcast or Sweet Comics. Donald DeLay, Eric Canetti cover came out gorgeous. Very well bound, super professional. Like, you know, you can give a lot of folks crap depending on what faction they're in, right? But as long as you're producing a quality book and getting it out on time, I'm a happy camper. And this particular project of his did that. I think there's some delays on a different project that he's doing, which is kind of annoying. But this one in particular came out good, looks fun. It's a black and white work, which I had forgotten that it was going to be. But it came out really nice. Delay's layouts are really good. His expressions are good. The character designs are really cool. It's a very unique looking book, which is awesome. But I haven't read any of his work, any of Clint's work, so I want to read it and see if how the writing goes. And then Eliza Barr went ahead and shot me a indie comic from his neck of the woods, a local indie comic called Sergey the Spider. It looks very professional in terms of like the graphic design on the cover, but he said it's super indie, so I want to get inside and see what he means. Because that's a cat with a lot of experience with indie books. So I want to see what his definition of super indie is. And he also included a very sweet note in the background, in the back of the book, which was really, really cool. It was very nice. He didn't have to do that. So I definitely want to do a quickie on that. There's a few others I'm forgetting. Oh, there's some of Alexopoulos' work. The latest Mary Sue issues I never read. And then I never did a quickie on Saving the World. And it's already 8 issues in, so I'd like to do one on the Saving the World trade paperback. There's so much on my plate, and like how do I phrase this? Because I'm very grateful. The viewer numbers, and I'll just be blatant honest about it, the viewer numbers on any of my content make it very difficult for me to have that as the carrot on the stick. So I gotta want to read it otherwise, right? Like I gotta feel like, oh, I want to read this right. Whereas, like, you know, if I had a little bit more of a viewership on the quickies, or like all of my content gets about the same amount of viewers. All of it. Doesn't matter what I put out, doesn't matter the length of it. The content that has gotten the most views have been creator interviews, and I have taken note of that. It's just me being social takes so much more energy out of me to plan it, to schedule it, and then to perform, right? So that's probably a key of why they are preferred. But it's just tougher. I would like to reopen interviews because I've gotten a couple requests. I'm just like, well, I don't really do those because it's kind of more of a pain. But I need to do that. And I think my viewership would grow if I could hit any sort of regimen. Like even if like I want to stream more, but if I could just hit one particular date and time where either I'm posting a video or I'm streaming, and it's consistent week after week, I think that would make a difference in channel growth. And I'm just so bad at that. Like usually, my first Coffee, Cody, and Comics is on a Monday, and it's usually Monday morning. At the last couple of weeks, that has not happened. Particularly this week, this is the first time I've been able to stream for a bit. Except for that website tweak one, which was kind of just, again, just getting me to do something I didn't want to do. You still have to read the 2 books you bought from last year. That's what it is. He was late on Mary Sue, and it was supposed to be just Mary Sue 3. But then he ended up, because he was late and probably other factors, he split issue 3 into 2 books. And just also delivered issue 4 to his backers. It was kind of a here you go, thank you. So it was like a longer, you got more content from him because he was late. And that's the way to do it. And I liked Mary Sue 1 and 2. Like, I liked them. I thought it was a good, like, build up. It's a unique art style. It's a good combination of, like, cartooning and manga choices. The writing was interesting. I also, I did Bad Dreams, quickie on Bad Dreams earlier, a while back, which is also another piece of his work that I really liked. It's this spooky romance horror vibe thing, with like Victorian setting. Definitely a different vibe from Mary Sue or any of his cartoon work, and it's really cool. Like, he's a good creator. I know that his goldmine has been politics, which, a lot of them I get a chuckle out of. I'm not gonna lie, but it's also like not my personal bag in how you approach that so directly. I think it isolates a lot of people. Sure, it brings a lot of people in, but isolates a lot of people too. So it's not my particular bag. So I'm not always seeing what he's doing there. And then some of it I'm just like, really? But some of it's fucking hilarious. But with the Mary Sue stuff, I was very interested. So I want to read 3 and 4. I need to read that. I think those are probably the same 2 you're thinking about, Eliza. I do need to read them. There's other things in that stack, and I don't freaking remember them. But I had another huge stack of more corporate stuff, like the original Image. Like, I grabbed all the original issue number 1s from Image that I had, and I wanted to go through those because, man, I've read Wildcats number 1, and it's a comic book. It's Jim Lee, right? So there's some nice stuff in terms of looking, but the storytelling is just, it's like reading Trigun again in some cases, and that's not a good thing. I want to check out Savage Dragon, so maybe I can see why it got popular, because everything I've come across that's near Eric Larson just makes me vomit. And that's a great thing to say if I ever wanted to work for Image, but like, I've come across a few people in comics that like trigger every single red flag. I've come across a couple that should have triggered every single red flag and did not. So I can't say my person compass is great, but I would like to check out the work just to see, like, that's why that was popular. I know Eric Larson was another Spider-Man artist, so that's what, like, that got him his, that made his bones, right? Just like McFarlane. So it's probably something to the artistry, at least, if not to the writing. That was the big thing with Image. So I wanted to do those. I wanted to do like a whole week where I did that. But nope. And then I have a bunch of Valiant stuff I'd like to from the 90s, because there's something about that Jim Shooter era of Valiant that I just really, really like. But, And again, there's just so much I would like to do that if there was more reward to it, there was a bigger carrot on the stick, I'd do it. But instead, I do most of this stuff because I want to, because I enjoy it. So that's the same thing with doing those stuff. Like, I can't tackle it as a job if it's not as fulfilling as a job is, whether it's financially or there's some other reason for it. It's much harder. It's much harder if there's not a decent carrot on the stick, rather than just like having fun creating. Like, that's cool, but I have a million things that actually need to be tackled. So that's a lot of stuff on this channel. Live streaming is just so much easier. It's like, I have this time I can carve out. Here I am. And there's something I want to talk about, or something I need to update on. That I can do that. But like, sitting down, reading, doing an edit, like, it's good practice. It's great for editorial skills, because that's mainly what I do them for, is to practice that, to see like what errors these folks made, so I have it in the back of my mind when I'm looking at other people's work or my own work, and I can be a better editor. That's like the main exercise of IronVerse Quickies is that. And also, which was part of its mission statement, which I have since taken down because it's super cringy. But the mission statement was, I want people to do better, and they often have editors in name only if they have that. Or their editor's their buddy, and there's a few books that like I feel really bad because I want to call out the editorial position. Because the job isn't being done. Or if it is, it's a different job than what I would define as an editor. And the job that I would define as an editor is not being done. Right? If they're a story editor, great. If they're like some moral support system that helps improve your work, great. Right? You can call that an editor, but that's... If I'm getting typos, I'm getting grammatical errors, if I'm getting poor bubble and lettering placement, if I'm getting bad page layout, if I'm getting... particularly, it's the spelling and grammatical errors. I'm just like, that's a very basic job that an editor should be tackling. And if you have an editorial credit, then I'm placing that blame on the editor, not on you as a creator. That's on the editor. And if you don't want that to be placed there, don't give them a credit. You don't credit your proofreaders, right? If that's all they're doing is proofreading and they're not doing a very good job about it, and you're calling them an editor, like, I've seen that so much in indie comics. There's a few particular projects where I'm like, if you're taking this credit, do that job, please, for this very cool project and this awesome creator. If you're taking that credit, do better. And that's part of what I do in IronVerse Quickies. And I try and be nice about it, but there's a line of it where I'm just like... So... Zoro in One Piece said it really well. It's when Usopp is basically leaving the crew because they're leaving the merry-go. And Luffy knows that's what needs to happen. I'm going to be king of the pirates. This is an object. It's something very important to me. It's something I loved. It's something that had carried us all this way till now. But if we have to leave it behind, we have to leave it behind. And Usopp's like, no. And it can't be. It can be fixed. It can be patched. I can blah, blah, blah. He's having trouble with grief. It's letting go of something really important to him. I get it. It's a great conflict. But Zoro, first mate, we're not kids playing pirates. That's the thing. If you're going to step into this arena and you want to compete with these heartless corporations and you don't want to sell your soul to them, then you need to fight with all your might. If you're trying to just put out a book and have fun, great. That path is viable. But I know there's many creators that's not what they're doing. They're trying to make a living and to share a story. You're not playing comic. You're not playing artist. You're not playing pirate. And that's the bit. It's, you take this seriously as you need to make sure that you're getting the respect you need, your work's getting the respect you need, that positive feedback loop is happening, and having a role within your work that is credited, that is blatantly noticeable as not doing its job, to me is a disservice to the entire act. And so I am more than happy to call it out without being a personal attack, and I've tried very hard to imply it every time. But eventually I might have to take off the gloves, because there's a point where like we can all elevate each other. We can provide a better competitive and also just a better quality of work and craftsmanship being put into the work out there, and that's what I'm for. Again, if you want to have fun just doing it, fine, but like, it's much more difficult to get behind somebody just having fun for me than it is for me to get behind somebody whose whole heart, soul is being pushing this work. And if they're doing that, then that deserves a certain level of respect, and I want to see a certain level of craftsmanship respecting that effort. It's going to be at different levels. It's going to be at different learning curves. But again, if you have a team member in there, it's like having the best art, and excellent story, and bad lettering, right? Like that dissonance, that bit to it, it drags the whole work down. And there's certain levels of competency that should be hit. Right? Particularly, again, if you're trying to compete with this incredibly powerful enemy. And I would rather you find that out and guide your ship in that direction from someone who actually cares about you succeeding, like I tend to, than you figure it out or never figure it out due to a lack of success. So that's the point of quickies. It's the point of what I see being an editor to be, and it's the reason why I do those. So yeah, I know it's a big grandstanding bullshit, but at the end of the day, like, if an editor isn't coming from that sort of compass, and I can't see what kind of compass they're coming from, and I'm seeing things that I traditionally would consider an editor's role to catch and to help correct, it's going to drag the whole work down, and that sucks and shouldn't be a thing. And it's up to the creator to communicate that, or to pick up the slack themselves if they want to still keep that person on. But again, it's again, not playing pirates. We're not playing comic creators. If you are, great, but like many other people are not. They're having fun doing the work, but they're not. It's not a game. So yeah. Howdy, dollar coins. I did talking things for like the last 2 hours. Drank cold coffee. I introduced folks to the kitten. Did talking things. Caffeine finally hit. Man, I was way rougher than I thought I was going to be this morning. I was way more tired. The kitten has been waking me up, right? That's what kittens do. But overall, I feel like the quality of my sleep's been a little bit better with her around, which is nice. Been weird. It was a weird combination. Like, she'd been waking me up. I'll go use the bathroom, or go eat something, or whatever. She's really polite about it. But, you know, it's a baby. She's gonna do what she's gonna do. But yeah, I was surprised how tired I was with how, like, okay I felt getting up and doing what I needed to do. But yeah, that really is it. I rambled on more and more about the role of an editor in my eyes than I thought I would. But like, it's like I'm invested in that. Like, if I'm seeing that credit, I better be seeing the benefit of it, or not seeing it at all. Like, I should at least not be seeing small errors. Right, I shouldn't be seeing grammatical errors. I shouldn't be seeing spelling errors. If there's some bad lettering and you have an editor there, okay, as long as it's not terrible. There's some bad paneling. Again, I see an editor. It's not terrible as long as there's not also grammatical errors, and also spelling mistakes, and also just, you know, poor phrasing things. That's the role I'm trying to fulfill. I was talking about how. You know, how I approach IronVerse Quickies and the point of them. And The main point is to reach the creator of them, unless it's a corporate book, you know, or it's slightly
Faith is eternal.
corporate book. The Funk?
Faith is eternal.
How did it get that from corporate book? I don't know, but I heard The Funk.
Faith is eternal.
I guess we'll just leave that on for a minute. At least I know the balance on that. It's not good. Mondo Cool needs to be way louder. Can I do that? Oh, it's all the way down. Cool. Better. The funk's like super loud. But yeah, that's it, dollar coins. So, Kitten just knocked something over, I heard, so I need to go check that out. I guess I'll just pause. Maybe we'll keep doing something. I don't really have plans for today, so maybe we'll put a game on or something. So, I need to go check on that. While that's going on, enjoy. All right. There we go. Yeah, she knocked over. I don't even think it was her. I think it was Midnight, bigger, older cat, escaping little cat, and she knocks something. It's all good. It's not nothing breaking. Maestro? No? I don't know what I pay him for. Maestro.
Here to serve.
Thank you. But we need something better. You know what? That's something we can do. Okay, don't pull that up there. Like I needed it or anything. Okay. There it is. Oh, it did pull it. I was just. I wonder why it defaulted to tiny windows. It's really annoying. Album. Sort by album, please. I want to look for the Tekken music. I thought I had on here. It is the funkiest shit compared to like everything else. Yeah, this is it. It's so good. Forgot what Tekken this is. But man, they've got some good music. Ooh. Oh yeah! Yeah, it's so good. Probably need to grab more of this because I really like this music. So, pro streaming tip, which I'm surprised. Well, that didn't change it there. Okay, that just changed it for you guys. Okay, I had to turn it down on my end. It's really good, but I felt like I was going to start yelling. Pro streaming tip. So, not all video game music, but most video game music, particularly stuff from the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 era, as well as some modern games, particularly Bethesda titles, you can use their music. It won't get hit by YouTube. There's a lot of video games, a lot of Nintendo music as well. I know a lot of people are big Nintendo fans. Go ahead and use like most any of their music. Depends on the recording, of course. So like if you go and pull something from like an orchestral performance or something, that's more likely to get hit than directly from the game. The reason why a lot of them do that, not only is like older music they don't care about so much, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 stuff they don't care about as much, but also the fact is that a lot of modern stuff, they don't want their gameplay footage from live streaming stuff hit because it's free promotion. So I'm just surprised more comic book YouTubers don't use music in their streams. This is something I learned pretty quick. Like I just wanted to use music for a while, so I went specifically for copyright-free stuff, and I found it, and I got really sick of it because I didn't grab enough of it. So I was hearing the same stuff. So if you go back a year or two on my channel, it's always the same kind of tracks, but I wanted my own, I wanted music. So it was worth it most of the time. But honestly, you want to do something, give some flavor, give some movement to your stream. That's a great way to do it. Let's see what King's tracks that's. Him and Hayachi are the only fighters I ever remember from Tekken. Really did not play much Tekken. Oh, Nina Williams, right? This is King's. And so, anyway, if folks need that, that's the thing with this too. Like, with this channel, I've tried to provide a unique space from a production standpoint. Particularly as I've learned more and more tricks with this. And I just pick up from like Twitch streamers, right? Like that's the most popular streaming environment on the planet. And it's one of the most competitive. So I'm always surprised when like I see a bunch of live streamers not taking not learn from it. So I try to. I don't think I put on this great performance. I'm not that charismatic individual, but put on a show. Some people are really good at that, like just naturally, right? So they're going through StreamYard or whatever, but they're charismatic, so they themselves can carry their strength. Some are not so much, like myself, so it's good to have ways to pick up energy or to just provide some fun, as you saw, you know, the stupid dance party thing. Just something. The voice bot I put on, those things. I'm just surprised more people. It's not like these resources and ideas aren't out there. It's not like you have to reinvent the wheel or invent the wheel from the start. No, just learn from what you like. There's quite a few. There's one streamer in particular I take a lot from, but I know where's he's very popular for a reason, and a lot of reasons that I can't emulate. But there's a lot of things that he does that I can make a similar flavor of, or I can make my own flavor of that I really like. Part of this is the screen, right? Part of it's the music, the chat box over here, right? Little things that I'm just like, yeah, I can do that. And so here we are. But it goes back to the editorial and books too. Like, I really want creators to show pride in their work through craftsmanship. I don't know. There's just a lack of that. Get it? There's a lot of reasons for it. I mean, comics community overall. That fucking includes the mainstream. They are terrible. All this kind of stuff. But, like, that's a good thing if you're an independent creator and want to stick down. Now, the success on my level. Oh. Good. Keep boogieing. So how I'm running this music specifically, I can't hear the difference. So it's going to be one volume to me the whole time. So thank you for telling me. That's a bit, right? Production. Too many moving parts also gets complicated. So it might not go as well. But at the same time, it might work okay. Some people like the chaos. I like the chaos. Let's try Nina Williams. No, I bet it's all of it. Because I'm playing this music differently than how I usually do it for the stream, which would normalize all of it. Because I wanted the funk. I wanted to specifically grab the funk. Wish I knew which Tekken this was, so I could grab another Tekken soundtrack. Because it's just, man, all of the Tekken soundtracks are bangers. All of them. I've been very impressed with it. What are we doing? I don't know. Dollar Coins. I kind of did all the things I had planned, which was mainly just talking about the updates, which was on the lawyer, on the cat thing. Oh, you didn't see this. I can't believe the co-editor's the last one to see this. I apologize for that, Dollar Coins. Oh, it's Tekken 3? Thank you. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that sounds right. Basically what I did, and I can't condone this. I feel total shame for doing it. Internet Archive is a great resource. I'm just going to say that. Internet Archive is a great resource for material. But page 13 of Jack Irons, issue 4, Dollar Coins. That's the other thing we talked about. I'm going to probably blank out this panel. Because within the flow of the story, lighting another cigarette. I wrote it as lights another cigarette, but as Maxie drew it right, there's no impetus that it's new. So this panel is very jarring. So what I think I'm going to do is just have him or Steve black it out. It's an unnecessary panel. It was necessary when I was writing it for the flow, but as it manifested into a page and with the previous page and storytelling beforehand, there's no need for a new cigarette. So it's just a jarring, useless panel. So I think I'm just going to black it out. It'll look good anyway, and then you can put text bubble or narration bubbles over here and it'll look good. So at least it's an easy fix. But yeah, this is the latest page we got. Good stuff as usual. He's specifically like this issue. He's been telling like he's been expecting Steve, which I think he did the last couple issues, but he's been telling me about it, this go, to cover a few different things. Like, he wants to make sure this pyramid gets a bit more texture than what he implied with the inks, which storytelling, this is great storytelling up to that. That rhythm sucks and it's unnecessary, and I can write around it. So that will take that out. But that storytelling's great, and it having that gold sheen off in the distance, well, right, it's gonna look good. But that's his worry. It's the same thing. Like, he was worried about me thinking this panel was a problem, but like, if I'm honest, I saw this panel in a dream long before he drew it. Like, I've seen this, and it was haunting then as it was when I saw it in person. Yeah, I'm very happy with this issue so far. That's just like editorial. It's really easy to fix that just by fucking annihilating it. Which sucks because he wasted time drawing it, but you know, for rhythm's sake, like we don't need to imply another cigarette just yet. I want him to. He's got to smoke through this one before he gets to the pyramid, basically, though. So I've got to make sure that's communicated. But that's Tekken 3. So I'm glad you know which Tekken it is. I wouldn't have. So there's like 4 more Tekkens I can pull from. Because I know Tekken 7 doesn't get hit because it's still being streamed. Like, it's still a popular game to stream for the fighting game fans, right? So I can pull most likely from Tekken 7 if I wanted to. But man, Tekken 3 soundtrack's a bang. There hasn't been a song I clicked on. Let's try this guy. Ooh. Yeah, see, they're all good. They're all good. And I still, like, there's... What I could do is a lot of different things. There's a lot of optimization I can do for the streaming stuff. Like, I can put the streaming tunes into their own categories, and then I can put those on buttons on my stream deck. So if I'm feeling like funk or whatever, not only can I just play that kind of music, right? Like, I can just skip till I get to that point, which is what I've been doing. I can press a button and it'll play. Like, that's way easier and way more optimized and way more, like, enjoyable for everybody. I can do that kind of stuff. We could play something. I can look at my dog and see that she wants attention. Oh, good girl. I could eat something. That would be smart, which wouldn't be on stream. Yeah. I don't know. I could... Well, let me look. By the way, I really recommend you do support the internet. There are many larger entities that are actually going through and erasing parts of the internet. So they are some of the only folks who are trying to make sure we have access to what's come before. So that shit doesn't get 1984'd as easily. So I do recommend you support them. If nothing else, give them traffic, right? All kinds of different reasons, too. All kinds of different reasons. Tekken 2, 5, tag, have a good intro song. Tekken Online is a great anything. Okay. Let's look. We'll give it a go. That makes sense when Tekken 3 has them. And we'll see if we get hit, too. Because there's always a chance, like, something gets hit that I don't think it would work. This is probably original Tekken right here. I think this one might get hit, because this one actually credits the artists. But it might not. I just want to hear that. There's a visualizer, so I know it's going to drop here in a second. I've got this one, and then the drop. So I want to hear what the drop is. Not much of a drop. Might just be Tekken 3. That's disappointing. God, there's like nothing to this. It's a big old waveform. What is this one? Yeah. You might be right, good sir. Some of these might be good to build trailers off. Like, this is fun. It's pretty groovy, but it just doesn't last forever. Yeah, there's some fun stuff. It's mostly these shorts that are actually really good. Yeah, that's like a fun piece to build a trailer off. Yeah, I think you're right. Is there any other soundtracks that are like funky? I specifically looked for some. Right, like I've looked pretty good for some. And you'll be surprised some of the things that don't get hit, like Parappa the Rapper. Like you would think, like most of that game is just the music that you're playing to, right? So you would think that they would be like, let's protect that. Nope. Nope. So you could put that kind of stuff, but eh. What else we got? Yeah, I don't know. Like, if anybody's watching this, gets this far, let me know if there's a soundtrack that you like, and I'll give it a go. Tekken Revolution Online. Oh, it even has the link. That's excellent. 14 minutes. 14 minutes. Well, that makes sense. It's a big loop. It's pretty good so far. I mean, it's. I hope it hit. Oh, it'll hit a banger. Oh, of course, the Persona stuff also. Like, I don't have much Persona music, but like Persona doesn't get hit anymore. Persona has. At least Persona 4 has an excellent soundtrack. Okay. Come on, get somewhere. It's taking a minute to really get any. People are agreeing with you, though. Okay, it has to go somewhere, right? It's like, this is fine, but it just sets a mood. It hasn't done anything yet. Oh, come on, I was hoping that would be it. Okay, it's a little bit better. It's not bad. It's kind of uplifting, but I'm hoping it drops at some point. It's more epic than groovy. Oh, got it. Yeah, I was looking for groove. Epic's good. Epic's good. Yeah, no, this and it's non-intrusive. That's the other thing. Like it's not super demanding of your attention, which is great for talking for right. Tekken. What was that one called? Revolution? Yes. Okay. Let me see if there's a shorter version of this track. I'm gonna have to say no. But it's not bad. Yeah, no, okay. Oh, and extended for about 15 minutes for people to think so it's a 2-minute track. Oh, and it had music in the background. That's my bad. Sorry, folks. Let's try this, though. This is Tag Tournament. What would you suggest for that? Oh, you think the second one. Oh, we'll try this. This is the last boss thing from... What is it? It's not bad. Definitely good for hype. Little repetitive. But it would work in a fighting game. It's not bad. Oh. This was not bad. Probably spelled that wrong, didn't I? Yes, sir. Definitely spelled that wrong. Okay. Let's see if I can refine that search a little bit. It might be in here, so let me look. We're looking for piano intro. It's the mix that might not be able to find too easy. Can I look through? Might not have it. Might not have it. Let me hear. Let's take a look at it. Oh, I can't search through there, but there's 100 fucking tracks, so I'd have to look through each separately. Well, these last tracks should be Tekken 7, so that's a half hour. Ooh. Weird with that China. Drums are weird on this one. Okay, I'm good. I don't want lyrics if I can help it. God, the waveform on this control. It's all super hype, which makes sense for me. Yeah, it looks like Tekken 3 is the only one that's got that groove to it. You need to see some point. Oh, I just got a new sub. Thank you. Howdy, Nathan Rita. Thank you for subbing. I was supposed to get an alert for that. Robot Ladies. Awesome. Oh, it's catching up now. Can I have it not catch up? Oh, no. She's going to be catching up all day. Yeah, she doesn't. Or all Tekken 7 bowling. Oh, yeah, I forgot there's a bowling minigame in there. That's fun. Again, though, there we go. Got one thank you for the following in chat, at least. I appreciate that. My robots are trying to do their job. Oh, and there's a thank you through YouTube. All right. Well, thank you, by the way. Thank you. We're just looking through for streaming music right now, I guess, is what we ended up doing. We were doing other things. This isn't bad. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be, at least. What's this? Man, all this is very hype. I don't know if I could like live up to the energy these songs are putting forward. It's a lot. Ooh, we're gonna have this cacophony going. Where are you? I gotta turn off that. It heard me. Ooh, that one was called Disco. Let's go. Not a big fan of this one. It's very dissonant. Let's try this one. I was gonna say, this one's gotta be funky. Oh, it's not what I want. I wanted to listen to it when I was about to get good. I want to get all of them. I just want to look through and get one. I guess I could do it that way. Okay, fine. We'll do it that way. Oh, is it just going to be... Is it the only way to do it? I see. Oh, okay, cool. Go through here. Yes, alright. Well, where was that from? I can't search within this. So I select none of them. And I gotta find the one called Disco Ball. Because that was dope. That was some good stuff. Okay, no, I'm just gonna have to do it differently. So we'll listen to it here. Fun. Because that was awesome. It was about to get really good, and then I killed it. I killed it bad. I gotta feel bad how hard I killed it. So we're gonna give it another chance. There we go. Tekken 5, okay. Yeah, there we go. Oh man, if I use this, I might use it for the dance party. Groovy. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I like this one. Like, it works. I'm getting a hold of it, dog hunts. Ooh. And I don't care it's fake slap bass. It's good sounding slap bass. All right. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I think I might replace the track that plays with the dance party with this. It's too good. Ooh, we might try that. Oh, it keeps going. It keeps leveling up. I like this one. All right, I really like that track. So that one I snagged. I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but that's the only way I'm being able to pick these tracks. That one was called Disco Beats, so I was like, oh, it's got to be good. So, Turbo Electric is what this one's called. It hasn't gotten to the turbo part. Okay, there's the turbo. A little too turbo. This one's pretty short, but it's super high. It's pretty high, but I like it. Okay, this one keeps coming up. Let me see if when I was looking up Tekken music, this track on YouTube kept coming up, so I'm curious. Ooh, there's one called Ground Zero Funk, though. We might have to try that after this. Oh, I could pass you that track through Discord, Doll Coins, if you'd like. It's fine. We gotta check out Ground Zero Funk. Why is it called that? Oh, that put a smile on my face. I did not expect that. It's like a little bit of Mortal Kombat to it. I like it. Ooh. Yeah, I like this one. Got a little bit of persona to it. Didn't expect that. It's not that funky for being called Ground Zero Funk, but Ground Zero. Ooh. It's got a lot of persona to it. And a little bit more Mortal Kombat. It's like Mortal Kombat Persona's love child. Ooh. Good call, Mrs. H. Ooh, I like this one. All of the tracks are super hyped because it's a fight. You don't give great OSTs, only mildly good ones. Okay, let me see. So I couldn't get it through the archives, so we're gonna have to find the specific track we're looking for here. Alright. Tekken stuff's just too hype. But we did find the one perfect song. Again, if you want to, coins, I'll pass you that track through Discord. Totally good. So, I don't know what track you folks want me to look at here, but let's see. Don't go away, Funk. Where are you? Funk?
Faith is eternal.
Thank you. So we got the movie, we've got the prologue, we've got the open. Thrown into despair. Once again, let me see. We want something preferably closer to the 3-minute mark. Okay. That's what I expected in Resident Evil track right there. Just a bit of creepiness. Well, let's go with the opening. Putrid smell. It's pretty epic. We're just gonna look at the longer tracks because they're more practical for streaming, but the shorter tracks are more practical for like trailer remixes and stuff. Which again, the legality's a little higher, but ooh, what track is this? Okay, I like this one. We're snagging this one. Ooh. Yeah, it is a good one. Super hype again. Like I'm always cautious of trying to bring too much energy to the stream because I can't keep up with it. It says opening, but it's good. So it's probably the ending theme too. That makes sense. So I'm just looking at the longer tracks again. Like I said, let's try Death Siege. Let's try Death Siege. That's the next. If it's not like 2 minutes, that's fine. Oh, this isn't very high energy. There was ones with vocals. Oh, interesting. Okay, this is horror, which can work. Let's keep going. Yeah, it's a Resident Evil soundtrack. It's very good. I just wanted to hear what piano was. It's just pretty piano, which makes sense. Oh, okay. Ah, it's a nice piano. This is a good soundtrack. Ooh. Went electric. Oh, wow. They produced a lot of music for this. Holy heck. Okay, if I'm wanting to look through all of them, we're going to be in trouble. So I'm definitely doing just the longer tracks. But if there's one you remember the name of that you want me to listen to, it can be shorter. Just let me know. Let's go. It's to this game. Yeah, Dreamcast too. Crazy. But yeah, they did a lot of music. I'm very impressed. Oh, the game came with all of it too. Oh, that's neat. It's definitely the sound designer here, the whoever did the score. Really nice. Super moody. Theme of Tyrant 3. Theme of Horse. Whoa. Man, he knows his horse. Where's this going? Not far, because you're supposed to be fighting and creeped out. Try Awesome Powers, Opening Chris, and Antarctic. Okay. Oh, here's Opening Chris. It's a little short. Oh. Is it gonna go inspirational? A little bit. Because yeah, it's like an uplifting. It reminds me of like Soul Calibur's soundtracks, which that's also a good set of soundtracks. Soul Calibur 2. You're not wrong, Dog Point. It's pretty good. Ooh, it's the military beat behind it, right? The regiment sound of the snare. It gives it like combat and then the bum 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 bum, gunfire, that expressed staccato. It's a very evocative soundtrack. Good stuff. We're gonna listen to the twos until I come up with any others that you named. Awesome Powers and Antarctic are the next two I'm looking through for. So I don't want too like creepy moody because it won't work for streaming. Again, for like a trailer or something you're trying to put a mood for, yeah. Like it's super creepy if you're doing like a horror trailer. Totally. Just looking for length. Oh, there's Alexia. Oh! Code is for, oh, interesting. It's pretty good. And we'll see if these get hit. Like, that's the other thing, too. It's like, I can't guarantee a game won't get hit just because it's old, but a lot of the time you're alright. Unless they took the music from something else. So one of my favorite soundtracks ever that I really wanted because it's super on brand with the channel was Red Dead Revolver. It's like nobody's played that either, which breaks my heart because everybody knows Redemption, and particularly Redemption 2. But like all of it is orchestral music that they licensed. So it all gets hit. Even though it's an older game. Super moody. Let's try this, and then I'll go looking for Antarctic. Ooh, Initial D, yeah. Initial D soundtrack's good. Ooh, I'm getting this one too. It still has the horror bit to it, which is, it puts you on your edge, on the edge, which is okay. There's reasons to do that. It is really good soundtrack. Oh, 2 Antarctic, okay. That is a good track. I'm snagging that one. That is not what I expected this track to sound like from this title. 2 Antarctic. It's probably up here then. Not seeing it, but that could just be me. 2 Antarctic. Oh, there it is. Antarctica, my bad. This is pretty good. Okay. Why are you still on, Funk? Okay. Let me check over here. I know they spell it weird. Don't they? Okay. Well, that's definitely not it. Okay. I just spelt it wrong and it's one word. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's just really short. That's the problem. So I want preferably something that can go for about 2 to 4 minutes. It's enough time to set a tone with something and then it moves on. Right? Streaming. If I'm doing, a little trailer piece or something, then the shorter stuff can work. Excellent. Like this is 1:20. Like that's a great length for just pitching something to somebody. And then if you use the tone of the music to reinforce that, then you're great. It is a good track. Let's try some of my choice here. If I can just find the stuff, because there are some bangers. And I want to see if they get hit. That was a great soundtrack, man. Why did the fighting games have all these good soundtracks? Oh. Super hype. There's a chance this one will get hit. I just have a feeling. I don't care. That makes sense. Yeah, from the PlayStation 1, early PS2, late Dreamcast era. This one is mid PlayStation 2 era. It's so good. Such a good soundtrack. That guitar. Oh, so good. That has a good soundtrack too. Let's see if I can find that. Unlikely. But it hits similar notes to this. Okay, I'll have to look through that. But yeah, man, I like this soundtrack. Let's try. Right. Okay. I can picture the stage maps. I played this enough that that's interesting. Okay. I'm snagging this whole soundtrack. I'll just go through it. I don't have the jaw. I don't have the jaw for that, man. I've never had the jaw for it. The chin straps help a little bit. I do not have a strong jaw. Very round. And that's what the hair helps too, right? I don't know. We'll have to go through this. Make sure, like, some of it. So, okay, let me see. Is this one? Not bad. I just wanted, like, the theme. They don't have just, like, the theme. Distract people from the job. Maybe a scar across the eye. That would do it. Scar across one eye and then the eye patch on the other eye and just kind of keep people guessing. Is that gonna work? It's fine. It wasn't as good as that. It's not the banger that Soul Calibur 2 is. Yes, cool. What did I just get? Okay. There we go. Okay. Cool. Should be good. Oh, I think that's the main bangers. I can't think of anything else. I can look. Just the one track. Let's see what's a banger. Is it good? Where's this going? Okay, where are you going? Angry is what it's called. Okay, let's try this sucker. Love that bass. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that, no question. I don't even know why I doubt it. Yep. Yep, that is exactly what it was. Dollar coins. Let me see if I can just get all. There's a chance here to put. Ah, there it is. You said we will try LeBlanc Cafe after. Oh, can I just put it on? Okay, maybe. LeBlanc Cafe. Wow, that makes sense. It's a game. There are many tracks. LeBlanc Cafe. Okay, fine. We'll just fucking control F it. Le. 777. Next. No, that's the only place LeBlanc Cafe is. Oh, maybe because I put that. There's no LeBlanc Cafe. Just try cafe. No, there's no track in here called that. Could it maybe have a different title? Oh, this is just the lyrics anyway. Maybe that's why. It's because this is just like, here's the lyrics. That would make sense. Okay. Oh, no, here it is. Well, not LeBlanc Cafe, but here's like where I can listen. There's, no, that's Layer Cake. Am I looking at the wrong game, maybe? Because I know there's different Persona 5s. Fucking A! So good, their soundtracks, man. Hi, Nami. Hi, Lita. Whack! Tiny cat. Still surprised I ended up with a tiny cat. Tiny cat. Not what I expected that day, I'll tell you that much. Oh, wow. Soundtrack has 3 discs. That's crazy. And so then we're going to have to go through and do some other things. This is not like... We're in the play part of it, which is fun. Beneath the Mask, you say. See if I can find that. Oh, there it is. Oh, man, but this whole soundtrack is exactly what... Oh, super chill. Hi, kitten. Hi, little kitten. What? What? Little kitten. Come here. How are you doing? Hmm? You okay? Yeah. Kitty cat. Wow. Between these, I think we have some stuff to look through. If there's... I'll do one more suggestion if somebody has one. I'll look through one more soundtrack before we actually start digging through these and, like, getting them set up for this, for their intended purpose. Some anime soundtracks will also work, but most will not. I'm so happy Mushishi worked. It has a very unique soundtrack. But, like, Cowboy Bebop won't, of course, which bugged me, but I did try it. I had to. Let me see if this one will work. I doubt it will. Well, that's just that. No, I don't want that. Why is it 10 files if it's only one file? Okay. Super groovy. There you go, maybe. Just don't know if I can listen to it. Nope. Alright, so we'll just do it this way. Oh, wow. That'll be tough. That one might not go. Alright. Yeah. Persona 5. So I'm snagging all of Persona 5. Just, oh, that's so good. I did snag all Persona 4 as well, and a good chunk of it's in the streaming playlist, but a lot of it was too short. So that's why you don't hear too much Persona 4 here. In fact, I think I only used 2 of the tracks, come to think of it, from 4, even though a lot of 4 is really good. So we'll go through these soundtracks. But I'm snagging one that may not work. But that's the point of this stream. Like, I'm at a level where I can test the copyright threshold on YouTube without having to worry about it, right? You said Dancing in the Starlight's great. Let's find that sucker. This one's super chill. I really like it. And this is the instrumental, so there is one with lyrics. This one has lyrics. What am I looking for? Dancing in the Starlight. Might take me a minute to find it. There's like 100 tracks.
Where have you been?
This one will probably get hit. When there's lyrics, it's way more likely to get hit. But it is better with lyrics. I don't see dancing in the... Dancing in Starlight. Not finding it. Unless it's, didn't Persona get an anime as well, and that's probably what you're talking about? Or I'm just not seeing it. There's a 100% chance I'm just not seeing it. Here's Tokyo Daylight. There's Days of Sisters. Yeah, no, I can't. It's not in the soundtrack, so it could just be an error of communication on my end, and I'm just not hearing it. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's fine. I got that, so yeah, that's fine. Got this is coming through. So let me see. Where are we at? Where we at, yo? No, it's gonna take a bit. So we'll just have to wait on those. No, it's a different game. Oh! It really is. All one. Okay. Sure. Okay. Weird. I mean, it's super Japanese. Even called groovy, huh? That's hilarious. Okay. Dancing in Starlight. So let's see what comes up. Let's see what comes up. I guess I'll play this just in case it gets hit or not. It probably will. But I'm playing it to see if it gets hit. It'll save me some time. I'll be very happy if it doesn't. Okay, no, we'll have to do it this way. No, this isn't the song we're looking for. This is in the meantime while I'm looking. This is the song you're looking at. No, I was just running that 30 seconds to see if it gets hit later on. And if it does, then I probably don't need to look through the rest of the soundtrack. That was Trigun's theme. And so I was checking its OST. But this is what you're talking about. I've heard this one before for sure. Definitely heard this vocalist many times. I've definitely heard this before. Oh, I've definitely heard this before. Huh. Cool. All right, this one sells me. All right. It's true that the Persona stuff is damn killer. Okay. You want future range. Okay, I think I gotta actually specifically look that up because there are a lot of different arrangements of that song. This one. So stuff with the lyrics again, it's more like, or vocals in particular, are more likely to get hit. So just FYI. It's not always, not at all, but it is a thing. Ah, it's good to know. Hell, it's the whole purchase. That's incredible.
I will.
All right, I'll give this one a go. Okay, so there's another soundtrack that I've heard a lot of that could be good. It's not what I was trying to do. Okay. There's probably a bunch of different ways to do it. Let's try here. Yeah, I've heard this track many times. Super epic. There you go. If you want, like, to build tension, that's the one. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Like, the main thing I was looking for was, like, super funky, if possible. See, the voice bot gets. No, we're going to wait for a couple things to hit. Then we will reset things. And we've actually got to look through things as well. So it won't be too long on a couple of these. But we're going to throw some already just directly in there. So let me do that. Like these three just go straight on in here. Let's go straight on in there. Like with the amount of stuff in here. That's the other thing is that we kind of got to go through like all 300 tracks and erase the not so good ones. Like that's a thing that needs to happen at some point. So that's the thing. It's better if I just do that by myself, probably. But like if I need to fill time on a stream, that's a whole bunch of time to get filled. Like that'll fill some time. Why is that open so many times? I'm just gonna close everything. Just go away. Close all these. Probably me trying to open something and open weird because Windows is not a great program. Alright, so we're putting this one back on. It was killer. I want to listen to it. Now, play it. Cool. Yeah, we're gonna leave this one on. Baby! Yeah, this'll probably do for now. That was a lot. Smile! How can I unpause speech, but have it not try to catch up? Is that even possible? Doesn't look like it. So if I turn Robo Lady back on, she's gonna just repeat everything that's happened that she didn't say already. Okay, well, no Robo Lady. I think this is my favorite track we found. If I'm honest, so funky. All the funk. I really hope it doesn't get hit. Oh, how'd that happen? How do I do this? I need to add, not media source, DLC video source, dance 3. Alright, I'm up for that dollar coins. But I need to eat. So what I'll do is I'll call this stream, eat, and come back. But let's finish what we're doing here. So I'm adding this as the dance party song. It's just too good. It's just too good. And then if something happens like with Everybody's Free, I can switch it back to the other. Okay, let's see if it works. So it's right here. Dance party setup. This whole thing. Okay, then I turn that off, or else I'll be playing both songs. Dance party. Oh, it doesn't hit quick enough. Oh no, it does hit quick enough. I just don't have it like dance party over. Why is that still playing? Why is that still playing? It should not still be playing. It's great. I love it, but let's turn it on and turn it off. It should not still be playing. Again, like I have no issues with it. It's excellent. Oh. No. Okay, let me switch. It should not be playing. Like I'm on a whole different scene where that thing's not plugged in. It loves it so much. Okay, so I can turn it off, but it's still like playing. It exists where it should exist. Why does it exist where it shouldn't exist? Again, like it's great. But it shouldn't exist. Yes, it's still there. No, it's still playing. Do I have to restart VLC? It just loves it so much. Does this put up a second one? No. I have it set up properly. Let me see. Shuffle playlist. Well, I can't get this to stop playing. I can't get it. It's not going away from VLC. Watch, I'll show you. See, it's still there. It shouldn't even be on. Like, there's nothing that has it running. It shouldn't even be on this page at all. I mean, if it wasn't so goddamn groovy. But, like, it shouldn't be on this page at all. You can't see because of my webcam. So, if something's going to play, so I'm going to mute it. If something's going to play, it should be over here. Period. Like, it should be attached to here. But it shouldn't be playing on this one at all. Then I go over here. It's still playing. You can see it right. Well, you can't see it now because I'm on this, but it's still playing. Like, I have it muted so you guys can't hear it. But it should be playing because the dance party's not on. It is specifically linked to the dance party. So I'm going to have to kill it. And it's still playing. It doesn't even exist on OBS anymore. It's still playing. Man, it loves this song. I get it. I love it too. Active, yeah, it says it's active, but it doesn't even exist in OBS anymore. I erased your ass. Dance Party 3 is not a thing. I'm guessing so, but then it'll go on forever. Why is it? Why though? I think a restart of OBS will fix it. So I was going to end the stream here in a second anyway. But I guess I'll add it back to Dance Party because why not? Video source. Yeah, it still exists. It shouldn't exist. Why does it exist? Yeah, it really shouldn't have existed. Did that. It's odd. It's supposed to be attached to this. Is there a ungroup? No. Yeah, I don't need to because it's part of this group. Okay. I guess we'll just end with that song because it'll probably play on the exit as well, which is hilarious to me. And then I'm going to wait for the other stuff to download. I will put that into the playlist, and then we'll try some Persona. One of those is going to take a very long time. The other, not so much. So we'll see. But I'll eat. That's a big eat. We'll go from there. Hardy, I guess. She does like tangerines, it's true. Holy shit, it's picking up the beat in my mic. I in-ear headphones. It's not that loud. Huh. Dance party over. Yeah, see, that should turn off the music too. And that should turn it off. So actually, the only way I have to mute it because it won't stop playing. It's very odd. So, why not? We're live. I'll go ahead and do it this way as well. Call it Dance Party 3, and then we'll call it fixed, even though I don't know if it'll be fixed or not. We'll add it. Okay. Okay, there it is. You folks probably hear it. I don't, with how I have it set right now, but we'll see. So, nope, still broken. So it doesn't matter the VLC thing. And now I just have two of them. I think I need to reset. I think that's the only way this is ever going to get fixed. So I have to, yeah, even removing it. It's the file. I think the file's just like, it doesn't know what to do with it. So yeah. Okay. What I need to do is dance party over. No, it could be drivers, but what I need to do is reset VLC. I think it's because I played with the playlists while it was running. I think that's at least a small part of it. Did we get those three in there? Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Cool. Did I get those in there? Date added. That's going to be the easiest. Yes. Cool. And then we're just waiting for Soul Calibur and then the rest of Persona 5. Which should be ready when I get back. Cool. Even though Persona 4 soundtrack's great. Yeah, well, I'll come back to some Persona 4, folks. So, be a little bit. And I'll come back and hang out. I'm lucky I'm able to. So I guess it really wants me to play this. So we're playing it. Adios, folks. See you in a little bit.